Welcome to episode 98 of my podcast, The View from the Crow's Nest. And it kinda is, I'm still not entirely sure what it kinda is, but I think it is like Friday the 11th of September 2020, although it's 1:30 in the morning on the 12th that I'm recording this, so I don't know when this is going to come out. But anyways, suffice it to say that today has been another of those days. Well, actually, today was a complete casino of a day, in the sense of the day just kind of disappeared from me because everything just came unstuck. Everything just kind of seemed to go slightly wrong. So, for example, the kids haven't broken a glass. We've got tiled floors here because we're in the south of Italy, and the kids haven't broken a glass in months. Today we broke 2 glasses in separate occasions. And, I was trying to do one thing and then the glass broke, so I had to run in the other room, sort out the glass. I was trying to do my Italian lesson, and Leonardo does not want to put we're trying to get him out of nappies, and he doesn't want to put on any underwear. So Simona and Mina went out, Leonardo stayed here, which meant he was with me when I was doing my Italian lesson, which meant I was quite distracted, and that was quite challenging. And then later I had my personal training session, and I had both kids here, and they were jumping all over me, and that was challenging. Then later I had another Italian lesson with the same dude, and Leonardo was back in because, again, Mina and Simona went out, but Leonardo wouldn't put on his underwear because he's still scared about the nappy. So the whole day, and other things, but the whole day has been one of those kind of days where everything has been more challenging than on other days. So on one side, you can get annoyed about it, as I did earlier, because I got a bit grumpy. On the other side, you look at it and you go, hang on, what's awesome about this? It's easy. I read something today, which is what splits it into my mind. I read something today about, don't think, it was from Derek Sivers, who's an author and an entrepreneur who I really dig what the guy says. And he said, in the thing that I read today, he said, don't think about silver medal. Think about bronze medal. Plan to be a bronze medalist. Which on the surface you think, well, that's kind of bizarre. I don't really get what you're talking about. And his point was this, which I really liked, because all of his points are kind of counterintuitive, and that's kind of why I like them. So he was saying that the silver medalist, they get really stressed because they almost won gold, and they're focusing on the person who beat them. They're focusing on the situation or whatever it was that is better than what they have. And his point was, instead of being a silver medalist, you should focus on being a bronze medalist. And a bronze medalist is happy to be on the podium. They're happy because they beat, or they were better than, or they were above the situation that is just below them. So a silver medalist looks up, and a bronze medalist compares downwards. And his point was, you'll be much happier if you compare downwards to if you compare up. So to put that into absolute practical use straight away, my day was really frustrating because I was comparing upwards. I wanted to get stuff done. I wanted to blah, 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 and I was getting all these interruptions and etc. Whereas when I reframe it and I look at it as comparing myself downwards, what a wonderful day I had, because I managed to put in 2 hours of Italian study towards, getting my citizenship. I managed to put in an hour of exercise towards being healthy and being able to enjoy my citizenship. I managed to put in some time with my son, playing around and whatever. And, I managed to do all these things which, if I compare upwards, would make me think I didn't manage to. But if I compare downwards, I completely managed to, against, another reality, let's say, whereby I was at work for 6 or 7 hours and I managed to do none of those things because I was at somebody else's beck and call doing whatever. So it's a different way of saying, and I'm literally in this moment running through it myself and kind of realizing myself that actually it's really easy to reframe, well, not really easy, but if you reframe something against the thing that was frustrating because you're comparing upwards versus the thing that is awesome because you're comparing downwards, all of a sudden things look very, very different, and ideally much more positive. So actually, my day was awesome. If you'd asked me, if I had come at this 5 minutes ago, I would have been pretty disappointed. But actually, no, it was awesome because of all of these things. And then to close it off, we had a video call, a video drink with friends of ours that we haven't seen in some instances years, in the sense of my wife and my friend's wife. We haven't really seen each other in years. And we had a really, really enjoyable evening and video call and bunch of drinks and chatting about kids and work and life and blah, blah. And we were saying that, sometimes you go into a situation where you're expecting something to be difficult or boring or not having much to say, etc. And you really can measure, in my opinion at least, you can really measure the truth of a friendship by the fact that when you do meet each other, even if it's on a video call, after years without speaking to each other, you just pick up where you left off. There's no awkwardness, and actually, it's a really pleasant conversation. And we were both, Simona and I were both of the opinion previously that it was going to be potentially a difficult conversation because we haven't spoken in years and blah, blah, blah. It was really, really pleasant. So it's a reminder once again that we have an expectation of a situation as being, difficult maybe or challenging or whatever. And very often, most of the time, it's actually far less difficult, far less challenging, and dare I say it, actually far more enjoyable than we build it up to in our own minds. Thus and so, get on with it, because actually it's probably a lot more fun than you think. Now that might not be true, but that's where I'm looking at right now, partially because I've just drunk 2 bottles of Prosecco, which probably has some input into my current decision. And also I'm looking at Simona, and she's shrunk down the couch so much so that she doesn't even have her bum on the couch anymore. She probably hasn't even noticed. Because at 1:30 in the morning we should go to bed, because at 9 in the morning tomorrow I have my Italian lesson, which brings me beautifully onto today. So I did do another 2 hours, separated hour and then another hour, but another 2 hours Italian lessons, and I kind of feel like I'm, dare I say it, I'm tuning my ear and I'm getting a little bit better at Italian. Also, after telling me that they were going to do the Italian test on my birthday, on my 40th, at 5 in the evening, which was pretty much the worst thing ever, they've allowed us to do it the day after, so 22nd of September, which gives me an extra week, which makes me feel like, oh man, I've got 2 weeks, this is serious, it's going to be easy. So I'm feeling pretty confident about the Italian test, and in 2 weeks, lessons every day, etc. I'm feeling like I can do this. Outside of that, didn't have almost any time today due to the casino of the thinking upwards rather than thinking downwards that I mentioned earlier, of having the kids and I didn't really do anything quote unquote work related. But come Sunday, I'm going to look at a bunch of work related stuff. I'm going to hire a few more people for Audience Ninja, and next week's going to be a very different week. So that's basically been my day. That's it. That's all I got for you. I mean, all I got for you, it's 1:46 in the morning. I'm 8:45 into the whole thing, and probably it's just me talking to myself. But if it's not, come over to Twitter at Romeo Crow and tell me that it's not, so I know, because I'll be super, 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 super happy on account of knowing that I'm not just talking to myself. Thus and so, thank you for listening. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Take care of yourself and rock on. Ciao.